Hi, my name is Lawson, and this is my digital unit plan showcase. I used Weebly for mine, so basically let's just jump right into it and let's get on, because we only have a certain amount of time to be able to do this. So I am going to become a physical educator as my, as my concentration as a future teacher. So basically, for the title of my website, it's Lawson's Ultimate Physical Education Unit on Ultimate Frisbee. I use the word ultimate a lot because Ultimate Frisbee decided to do a little play on words, but I don't know, it looks kind of confusing. But basically, the subject area I want to be physical education, unit title Ultimate Frisbee. For those of you who do not know how to play Ultimate Frisbee, please bear with me. It's actually a very simple game, but I decided to do 8th grade as the level for this unit because we're going to be doing a lot of critical thinking with not only the rules of the game, offense, defense strategies, and things like that, but also on team building strategies as well. So for the unit summary relates to my content standards, my big ideas, as well as my goals and objectives. Basically, the big thing that I want to do is that students will learn all elements of Ultimate Frisbee. That means the rules of the game, the history of the game, positions played, size of the field, throws and passes, catches, and of course strategies used to make your team an effective team in Ultimate Frisbee. One of the big ideas that I really wanted to emphasize is team building strategies. And as you can see in my content standards, I even included it as well. Model support towards individuals' vulnerability levels and encourage others to be supportive and inclusive of all individuals. In the simplest words I can say, this is just trying to teach my kids how to be good sports. For those of you who don't know how to play Ultimate Frisbee, one of the biggest rules of this game is it's a non-contact sport, which I think is good for my students to kind of be able to emphasize. We don't need to be playing football or anything where violence is a big part of the game. With this game, it's a non-contact sport. If you are in possession of the frisbee, you are not allowed to move from the position you're at. You're only allowed to pass, and you only have 10 seconds to do so. So this team, it's a team-building game. You obviously can't pass the ball or the frisbee to yourself. You need to pass it to another player. So in order to actually do well in this game, you need to have good team-building strategies. You need to be good sports with your team. You need to encourage others to do well. And basically work as a team, which is a big part of this, unit. So yeah, you guys can go ahead and look at the content standards, my big ideas, and my objectives. I don't want to go too much detail into this right now. We're already running about 3 minutes, and I've only got 15 minutes to go over everything. So let's go into the Lesson 1 teacher lecture. First, I decided to do a Slide Rocket PowerPoint presentation for mine. So if we go ahead and look over this real quick, it's basically like a lesson introduction. I just basically try to go over the rules of the game, the history, effective throws and passes, just the basics of everything, just to kind of get the kids underway, and of course some discussion in between too. So if we go ahead and look through this, history and rules. For slide 2, it's an introduction to the Ultimate Frisbee game. So fast forward to this. It kind of goes over highlights to try to get my students really encouraged and motivated to actually want to really play this game. So, goes over really cool highlights that kids can do, maybe get them interested in the game and things like that. So let's go pause on that. Let's keep going. And then, every slide here and there we'll have discussion questions. Anybody ever played Ultimate Frisbee before? What team strategies did you notice in the video? Based on what you saw in the video, what do you think has better advantage? Tall or short players? Just trying to, at the very beginning, get my students to critically think about this game. So we have a little history over the game, the outline of the field, we'll be talking about that. And then I decided to use some YouTube videos, a lot of YouTube videos from other players, professional players. I played this game myself a lot, and I've even done an actual unit in one of my classes on this as well, so I do know a lot about the game, but I'm there if the students need any question, but I want the students to learn as much as they can about this, and I don't want to hold anything back. So this goes over how to play. There's 2 parts to this one. And if we keep going on, another critical thinking activity for the students, what I think is most important in the game and then I have the students do that as well. I have the students do that as well on their guided notes. If I have time, I'll go over the guided notes later, but I just want to make sure I'm within the 10 to 15 minutes, so we'll do that later. But basically, it is guided notes. It follows, the guided notes follow an outline, word for word, not word for word, but you know, page by page of the actual PowerPoint, so that kids know what to write and you know what to really look for, so they can you know, learn and retain that specific information that I want them to. Alright, so since we went over the teacher selection, before we do the web quest and the graphic organizer, I think I want to go over the assessments next. In order to understand everything and my goals and stuff like that, the very first thing that I want to really go over is my summative assessment. So if we look at my summative assessment, it's basically a big final project. At the beginning of this unit, I will group the students in groups of 7, because on Ultimate Frisbee team you're only allowed to have 7 players, and so with each team, each group or team, I want them to come up with a modified version of Ultimate Frisbee. As I said before, I want to emphasize team building strategies and to make it a little easier for the students too. So a modified version of the game to either add some extra rules or modify a couple rules to make it easier and to create more team building strategies. So, I mean, for example, when you have the Frisbee, you're only allowed to you're not allowed to walk with the Frisbee, you're only allowed to pass it to another player. So maybe one of their team building strategies, or one of their modified rules of the game might be that you must pass Frisbee to every person in your team before you can throw it to the end zone to make a score, to build more team strategies. So with my summative assessment, they're going to have a presentation. They're going to present it to all the other groups, their modified game, and then they can practice playing with another team. And I'll do like and then for my assessment, obviously has to be observable and has to be measurable. So they need to have at least 3 rules for their paper. You know, I want them to be explaining it, so that way when I'm actually observing, I can actually, like, you know, see word for word, you know, their rules and how they want to modify it and everything like that. So with the formative assessment and the entry level assessment and the PowerPoints and everything and all the activities that we're doing, it's to help the students critically think about the game, the specifics of the game, and what they can do to modify it to make it advantageous to their team or to beginning type players. So yeah, go ahead and take a look at all my assessments. I've got a pop-up right here that kind of goes over everything as well. And then I decided to do a formative assessment. You know, use Quizlet cards and everything. This one didn't get really put in here very well. Basically, it puts the answers first. I don't know how that happened that way, but if we do it in the flashcards version, it does the actual term first, and then we click to flip to get the answers. You know, quiz basically on the notes and everything that we've gone over in class and stuff like that. So now that we've gone over these assessments, let's go over my web quest. For the web quest, I really wanted to, you know, have them use ultimatejunkies.com. And if we click on ultimatejunkies.com, it really has the kids, you know, has my students really looking and reading and critically thinking about all these different things. So if we go back here, based on what the website says, and what this website said, basically my website, in your own words, what is Ultimate Frisbee? And then if we look down at other questions, explain in your own words what is the spirit of the game. We go over the spirit of the game a lot, which, you know, simplest answer, it's sportsmanship, fair play, things like that. So yeah, I have this, so the questions don't really go in random, the questions kind of go in order. So that way the kids aren't really lost by looking on this. But basically they kind of follow it going down, and basically they can basically critically think and answer the questions pretty reasonably. It's not too hard. I just want to be able to critically think just a little bit on this. And then if we go for my graphic organizer, for my graphic organizer, I thought, since we're doing another unit ultimate Frisbee, I thought a double entry journal would be best. So for my instructions on this page, I decided to be as specific as I can. I want them to write 3 offensive strategies and 3 defensive tactical ideas. So offensive strategy, defensive tactics, it's basically right here. And as per instruction, I did a practice one. So if you look right here for offensive strategies, if you actually look on the website, go ahead and look at the website real quick. But yeah, they've got, it's basically all right here. It's all the strategies right here. So the kids can look at the different strategies, and they can pick the 3 best ones that they think, or maybe the 3 worst ones possibly, and just explain why they think it's the best or the worst for their team. And maybe they can use it to kind of help for their final project. So since I pretended I was a student, I decided for my first one, let's say for example, I decided to use the spread. The spread is one of the strategies I've used before. I really do like I've used this strategy before, and with my team it didn't really work out. My team did get confused on where they were supposed to go, and it was just basically, it didn't work out very well. So I kind of use this on my own experience, but the kids my students will be doing activities and physically, practicing with their team and stuff as well to come up with ideas for their final project. So they do have experience to look back on as well. The unit resources, I think, is not really one of the best pages, but it's a great page because there's a lot of information on Ultimate Frisbee. There are a lot of people that are very enthusiastic about the game. So I also put a lot of stuff on this page, so it might take a while to load. But we've got an Ultimate Frisbee PDF file. If you would like to look at that, you are more than welcome to. Ultimate Frisbee highlights to get them into the page. So yeah, I got a lot of a lot of videos on how to play Ultimate Frisbee. Backhand throw, forehand throw. This is basically for the students if they ever get confused or something or they need to look at it. They can do so. I also have some links as well. Ultimate Frisbee outline. Basically, this just goes over everything. I mean, obviously, I don't know if the students would want to read that or not, but it's there if they want to. And yeah, I try to emphasize a lot of videos on Ultimate Court, but yeah, emphasizing videos I thought would be good for the students to do. And here's a link on the rules of the game, simplistically written for them. So there's the PowerPoint in there that I put there as well. And then last but not least, I also wanted to put a Wikipedia page. Wikipedia is something that everyone likes to use. It's a very simple tool to use, and Wikipedia pages are usually very organized, so decided to have a Wikipedia page on Ultimate Frisbee as well. And then if we go here, we also have a link to my teacher's website, so I'd like you to go ahead and look at that too if you guys would like to. But Mr. Lawson's teacher website, we finished this at the beginning of the semester. And yeah, here's everything here. I decided to do a Google Docs, Google Sites, Google Docs, Google Sites for this one. I decided to do it different than, I wanted to do Weebly second, Google Docs, Google Sites first, because, with this class, it's teaching us how to do online tools to help our class, which is great. So I wanted to kind of get a universal perspective, not just use one website, but use different website templates to create websites and everything. So, this helps give me a general idea. And I've got everything in here. What is physical education? Got some useful links for my students to use here. If we scroll down here, got it pretty short, but yeah, got a bunch of things for my kids to look at. Very interesting websites. Everything's not colorful here, but I probably should have gone back and redid this page, but yeah. So yeah, that's basically my my teacher website, and this is my unit plan. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and please give everything a look. Yeah, thank you for watching.